Well, a Grand Rapids woman recently shared her story with a national audience. She's urging more communities and states to bolster their laws or rules to keep guns out of the hands of children. CBS News reviewed Michigan's state law on so-called safe storage. It was enacted about 2 years ago. And I sat down with CBS News Justice correspondent Scott MacFarlane to learn more about this story. We also talked about how this could have an impact on the national level. CBS News Justice correspondent Scott MacFarlane joins me now from Washington. Scott, this story aired last week. It features some folks from here in West Michigan. So you're discussing safe storage laws. Tell us, what did you find out?
Yeah, the safe storage law that Michigan approved 2 years ago is somewhat novel. Not every state has this, so we wanted to see how it's performing, if it's making people safer, if it's something that law enforcement's been able to navigate. And we found, in the course of just the past 12 months, there have been dozens of people prosecuted for not keeping their guns safely stored away and leaving children vulnerable to shootings from West Michigan through Detroit through the Upper Peninsula. Prosecutors say some of this is difficult because they are charging parents who didn't mean for their children to be harmed, but that it's important to ensure safety. And one of the people who's been advocating so effectively for this law is Eunice Benavidez of Grand Rapids, who sadly lost her brother in a shooting of this sort some years ago. Take a listen. Your brother died this way.
He did. At a sleepover, my brother, Alejandro Jr., was my big brother. We like to play together and fight together and, just normal siblings, sibling interactions. And, he's not with me today. He was a couple weeks short of turning 15 years old when he went to a sleepover where there was an unsecured gun just laying on the table where they were playing Monopoly, and his friend discharged that firearm, and my brother is now gone because of that, because of improperly storing your gun.
She's been effective at advocating for these types of new laws at the state level, but only about half the states in America have these safe storage laws. Michigan is now one of them. She explains why these types of rules and laws do help ensure public safety.
There's a lot on the line here, and it is prevalent in the United States. In fact, firearms are the #1 cause of death for children in Michigan and also in this nation. So there's a lot on the line. For me, even just educating one person, if that one person knows, that makes a big difference, and that's valuable.
In Macomb County, we talked to the prosecutor there who says these cases are really tough for him. He's brought a few of them in the first couple of years, but he says he's prosecuting, in some cases, parents who didn't mean harm and who may be separated from their kids if they're sent to prison.
Well, Scott, I want to focus a little more on that because obviously there's this debate. We heard that heartbreaking account from that woman there, but again, there's definitely this debate over, if mom or dad, if they're prosecuted, potentially splitting up families, right?
Yeah, that's part of the deterrence, though, also. Your parent would never want to think of that happening to them, so they may be more inclined now to be more responsible and safer if they're going to have a gun in the house. Expert groups say there is one way to think about safe storage. Gun separate from ammunition, unloaded in a locked, secured box. Some people may skip one of those steps, and that's how tragedies happen.
I know we've done a lot of those stories here in West Michigan as well, a couple cases just recently. Finally, though, I do want to broaden out a little bit, talk about this on a national level. We know that it's been challenging to implement this law here in Michigan. Do you think it'll be more difficult for Congress to expand safe storage requirements with new legislation?
It can be challenging to implement, but advocates say it has been effective and it has prevented any number of tragedies. Congress has considered their own version of national safe storage laws of different types, but getting new gun control measures or gun safety measures through this Congress, which is gridlocked on pretty much everything, is a tall order and something that may have to wait until the midterm elections.
All right, we'll just wait and see. Scott MacFarlane there in Washington for us. Scott, thank you so much.